those smack-talking guys, full of opinions on games, music, culture, and current events. These guys cover it all while humiliating each other. This is Generation Flip. Don't forget, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. And now, crapping it up, here's your hosts.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in to Generation Flip. We have a great show today, but first, y'all know my boy from San Jose. He's in his studio. What's up, Mr. Brown?
Happy Friday, man. It's going to be a good day. You know, the way I see it, every day you wake up and open them eyes, it's going to be a great day. It's a blessing.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth?
It's a gift. That's how I live my life.
Brown,
no doubt.
Brown, so we did the last segment we had the 80s, shining on the 80s and 90s, man. What'd you think about that? What's your take on that?
You know, it took me back, man. You got to go back every now and then. You got to go back to the roots. You got to go back where it started. You got to go back to where, you know, your memories come from. You know, when you play some of those songs and you think back where you were, it's phenomenal, man, how that works, right? It's scent, it's sound, it's taste. You know, those things take you back, and that's the cool thing about that. You know, when you cause on a day-to-day basis, you forget about all that stuff. Right. And then all of a sudden the song comes on and wham,
brings you
takes
back.
You right back. Takes you back, baby.
Definitely, man.
I love it. That was great.
But hey, you got a nice little fresh studio over there, man. Flip did you well, huh?
I got a Flip took care of me, man. Is this my Christmas present?
That's your Christmas present.
It's my Christmas present. I love it. Hey, you know, I did meet a cool friends in Seattle, and she was telling me that I'm going to stay in the music genre deal, but he's a producer in Canada, and he's got some hot acts in Canada. And I said, you know what? I'd love to do a show. I'd like to know a little bit more about what he does as a producer, how he brings talent in. And I guess he's got some new up-and-coming guys coming up. And she said, you know what? He'd love to. So I think we'll bring that out. We'll put we got a little love for Canada out there, baby. We got to, we got to help everybody out. But I'm going to set that up for us so we can get somewhat of an insight. Because like many things, it ain't easy. No. Right? You got to get in and you got to go do the grind. And from what I heard in a great conversation I had with this young lady, Janelle, she was telling me, you know, that it's a grind. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of pressure. And, you know, you could have the most fantastic act under the sun, but if it's timing, right? It's somebody there with their arms open, somebody needing something. So it's cool. So I'm going to bring her husband on and get a little insight on it, you know, see what happens, and maybe promote one of his new rappers coming out or singers or something.
That'd be awesome.
So I'm excited. That'd be fun to do, you know, because it's always nice to know the inside of that stuff. Feliciano?
Yeah, Feliciano, man. That was a very good topic segment there. Yeah. And I'm sure I want to go live with him, you know what I mean? Yep. So we can get some good information, some more good information, have the subscribers and them come hit them up live, you know what I mean? So we'll try to get him on the next, you know, maybe week or so and you know, take it from there. But we definitely got a good guest today. I mean,
whoa. Good?
Great. How about that? Great.
No. We got a fantastic guest today.
That's right.
We got a fantastic guest today. Now, when I say fantastic, I'm a feminist. I'm about the girl movement, and this girl doesn't move the movement, right?
Right.
This young lady right out of college got picked up by Ford Motor Company, and she is the first African-American lady, mind you, transportation designer. Ford Probe, you know, the Mustang. She's got her name and accolades on a lot of these things, and I'll tell you what, that's huge, man. I mean, it's huge. And at that time when she put all this together, the ladder was greased, baby. No ladies were climbing it, but guess what?
But she
brought her greaseless gloves, baby. She climbed that ladder.
She sure did. She's also affiliated with Hidden Pioneers. We got to throw that out. She's affiliated with Hidden Pioneers. She written a book You know, she was
she
out
got
doing
2 books.
Yeah,
she got 2 books.
She's been doing signings. So if you guys out in Detroit, Michigan, baby, this girl puts the silk and satin in the cushion. You know what I'm saying? She brings it like Bruno Mars. You know what I'm saying? Versace on the floor. This woman knows. So let's give a nice welcome.
The Queen D.
Let's
the Queen of Detroit.
Out, baby. Let's bring her out.
There we go. EMELINE.
Hey,
right?
EMELINE, what's going on? Welcome to Generation Flip. Thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us and our guests, our subscribers, and our channel. We really appreciate it. So, you know, let's tell you, you've been busy with the signing autographs and stuff on your new book coming out, right?
Yes, I have been very busy, but it's been an honor to meet people, tell them my story, and it's really been awesome.
I bet, EMELINE. EMELINE,
Yes.
I'm flabbergasted because I was able to read the articles in Ford Motor Company. I was able to see these things and do research on you. And I'll tell you, you've done so much. Girl power, man. Girl power.
Oh,
You've done so much.
Definitely.
And it's exciting to see that. And, we don't get to see that. But I'll tell you, when Ford Motor opens up the page and puts you on it, that's fantastic, man. That's a movement. I know we talked a little bit about it and how you even got to meet William or Bill Ford Jr.
Well, Bill as well.
Yes, and it's just all these great things that you were able to do and accomplish. And your dad was a huge factor into this. We talked in, and so tell us where it started, because I know you don't like to play with dolls when you were a kid. You get offended. You wanted a car, right?
A car.
So
Give
tell
me
us.
A car.
Yeah,
Well,
tell
it
us.
started. I was about the age of 11, and every Saturday, my father and we had our daughter and daddy day out. So there was a black sculptor by the name of Oscar Graves. He had a studio. And so every Saturday we would go there, and in his studio he had clay. So I got a chance to, put my little fingers in the clay, and I was just fascinated by the shapes and also the smell. And later on, my father worked for Ford Motor Company, and he was a fabrication specialist. So every year they would have their Christmas parties. And I remember one time I was, I guess, about 11, and my father took me to his work, and he took me in the special area. And in that area, there was like some blue doors. And the closer I got to the door, the more I would smell clay. Well, that just excited me so much that I wanted to go behind the door, the blue door. But my father said, "EMELINE," well, he called me Leanie Girl. "No, you can't go behind those doors, because behind those doors are men who are called transportation designers. And they are responsible for the cars that you see driving up and down the roads." And he said, behind those doors, they have clay models. So that's the clay that you're smelling. So I wanted to go behind the door, but my father said, no. First of all, you have to be a transportation designer. Second, you have to be a Ford employee. So from that day on, I had 3 dreams that I wanted to accomplish. The first was to become a transportation designer. The second was to work at Ford, and the third was to work there with my father. But during the time when I went to school, a lot of my male teachers, when I tell them that I'm going to grow up, I'm going to be a car designer, I'm going to work there at Ford with my dad. And they would tell me, "Oh, no, EMELINE, girls can't draw cars. You need to take these little hands, and either you can be a nurse, a librarian, a good wife, but drawing cars, girls can't draw cars."
Wow.
But little did they know, my father was training me in the world of transportation design. And so from then on, I went to top accredited schools that specialized in car transportation design, and one of them was Art Center College of Design. And when I was in Detroit, I attended Cass Technical High School, Wayne State University, Center for Creative Studies, and then I went on to Art Center.
I actually have a couple of questions regarding the educational process. People were hitting me up, request. They wanted to know basically, where does that line in? Like, what education do you need to go after? Is it like a certain trade school that you need to go to, or is it performing arts? Is it, you know what I mean? What kind of education would you recommend for a young teenage girl?
Our young people?
Yeah.
I would tell them, inform them that having a good background in the arts, commercial arts, industrial art, as far as painting, sculpture, and also transportation design. Here in Detroit, like we had Wayne State University, and we had Center for Creative Studies that specialized in industrial design. And then there's Art Center, which specializes in transportation design. But while I was at Wayne State, it also was good to take up other subjects as far as art history, anything with art, painting, sculpturing, printmaking. I even had to take drafting, architectural. So all of these things just make you a much more solid designer. So always pick a accredited school that's going to give you the basics and what you need as far as if a person was going into transportation design.
It sounds very interesting. It also sounds, I mean, almost intimidating, but don't get that intimidating. If she can do it, if you can do it, I'm sure other people can do it too. A lot of females out there that can, put the effort in it and get it done. I've been persuading my son, who's just going to be graduating from high school, to join college. You only have three options. Like I grew up, you have three options. Either, you go to college, you go get a job, or you go to the military service. Those are my three options. Okay. But you can't do nothing. You know what I mean? You gotta do something. So, he's, I was like that myself. I wasn't too sure what I wanted to become, as growing up, in my early 18, 19 years of age. I just didn't know what I wanted to become. Okay. So I kind of skipped college, you know what I mean, and fell into my field now.
I think it was a couple of weeks ago. I did a book signing for the Mustang Club of Southeastern Michigan. And I got a chance to meet some Mustang enthusiasts who it was just a joy to hear them and also to share with them the part that I played in Mustang. So nice. It was excellent. There was a gentleman by the name of John Clore who was over the Mustang, and he was just telling me about how wonderful the Mustang Club is. And like I said, Mustang was very close to my heart. They even gave me a lifetime membership for the Mustang Club. So
nice. Now you had a lot to do with 1994 Mustang, correct?
Correct. The 1994 Mustang. Do you remember the 1990 Mach 3?
Right.
The 1990 Thunderbird Super Coupe. The
right.
89 Thunderbird. And also there were parts on the Lincoln Navigator.
Nice.
So, and the Probe as well. So I had my hands off in a lot of Ford products.
So let me ask you something. Nice. When you go in and design a particular car, so you do like many replicas, or do you do one and then they just take it from there, or how I mean?
No, usually it goes through a couple of concepts. The concepts before you get to the actual final design. With the Mustang, a little history about the Mustang before it arrived at the final design that we have, that you had in '94. Ford had two other themes. that the Mustang went through. One was a little bit more not as strong as far as in design. I think they had that one that was a Bruce Jenner design, and then they had the Arnold Schwarzenegger. They had his, but this was more like just a total spaced out, more rugged. But
Nice.
when they came to the final design for the Mustang, they got the input from the Mustang owners, and they basically said what they felt the Mustang looked like. And when I entered on the scene, I wanted to bring a feminine part to the Mustang as far as designing the interior so that the knobs would be soft so they wouldn't break a fingernail or snag a stocking. So I wanted to accessorize the design much more.
Nice.
Right.
So you will find that very represented in the interior of the Mustang.
So
I don't think a lot of people understand what goes into designing a car. Right? The ergonomics, the feel, the textures,
Yes.
And people just think, oh, here's a new car, roll it out, and it doesn't go like
No.
that. So
it's a lot of hard work and commitment, detailing.
Right.
There's going to be some changes, but like you said, and you're working with all different departments. Like my father, he worked in the fabrication part. I was more like in the design, but I had connections and worked with the engineers, with the color and trim, the ergonomics, all of this, the engineering, all of this plays a part in designing a car. It might start out as a sketch, but from there, you have to get the other components in there.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I'll tell you, like I said, you look at when I was growing up, I mean, you pop the hood, you can see spark plugs, carburetor, you can see the radiator, you can see you pop a hood today, forget about it. I'm just telling you, you're just like, there's just covers and there's
covers.
there's
That's
covers
true.
and they don't want to, and it's, before I remember having to adjust the distributor for the timing. I did all that, and we had the light, the timing light, and you can see coming off the pulleys, and it had notches in it, and you can adjust the distributor right to where the notches line up, and you go, okay, there it is, and then you shut the car off and you tighten it up, and your timing was done. Now today,
That's true.
it automatic resets its timing every 3 seconds. It's just unbelievable, and not only that's just a motor, but like you said, the interior, the feminine side of making it ergonomically comfortable, not breaking nails, snagging clothes, sitting in and out.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's freaking unbelievable. And once again, nobody knows about that. Nobody freaking knows. They just want to go buy a car, but when they start to understand what it takes to make a car, different ballgame.
Even down to the font designs, they have to have certain colors, certain sizes.
Yeah,
it's a lot. It's a big piece of machine. But we as designers, we have to stay focused and make sure that what we're designing it meets the customer's demand. Because in the final thing, we're producing products that for our customers.
Right.
Because I'm sure, like I said before, we want to stay in business by selling these cars, but we have to make sure we have something really good and competitive to present.
Right.
Yeah, I even heard getting the name of a vehicle is difficult.
Oh yes.
I heard like to name a Volt, the Volt or the Mustang or the Probe. I mean, just getting into how they're gonna, right. You develop something nice and you got to put a name on it. So
you have to put a name.
You got to put a name on it.
The Mustang is iconic.
Yes.
And if you read about the history of it, I mean, it just reminds me of a beautiful thoroughbred just racing in the wind. So that name Mustang,
Oh yeah.
We're Mustang. It's something.
You got a few book signings coming up as well, right? Or you're done with the tour?
Yes. I'm doing so many book signings, and also next year I guess I'll be booked quite a bit, because I have several with the Mustang Club. I think they're having I think April 14th is National Mustang Day.
Wow.
So I understand that they're going to have big presentation with a museum in Carolina, and I will be doing a book signing for that. And I'm booked with a lot of the schools, churches, other organizations. So I have my
Fantastic.
hands full, but I truly enjoy.
But
I
and
truly
that's
enjoy.
not all you do.
No,
That's not all she does.
That's not all she does. What does she do?
Hey, not word on the
Many
street.
hats.
Word on the street. You are one heck of a Zumba instructor.
Yes.
You do Zumba. She instructs
I do
Zumba.
Zumba. I do a lot of other. I teach pound. I teach cardio hooping.
That's right. Tell us about that cardio hula hooping. That's a weighted hula hoop, right?
That's a weighted hula hoop.
Right.
And it ranges from anywhere from 5 pounds or 8 pounds, and they even have one that's 10 pounds. But it's a workout.
I bet.
I enjoy teaching fitness to those who love working out. And another hat that I wear, I am a musician. I play tenor, soprano, alto saxophone. And I
That's right. That's
from a
right.
bet out of my father.
You know what? Play us something. Play us up. No, I'm just kidding. She's all, well, give me a second. And she pulls at me.
Give me a second. I go grab my horns. But as you can see, my father is a big influence in my life. Big influence.
Well, I'll tell you. Now we know why you look so beautiful and so young, is because of all the accolades, the Zumba, the weighted hula hoops, and the Mustang clubs. Man, you're just having a ball. That's what I love to hear. You're just enjoying life. That's fantastic. And you know what? I can honestly tell you, I know you're blessed.
Yes.
You're a blessed young lady, man, and that's awesome. From all the accolades that you've done and the things that you've done, it's exciting and it's motivating. I'm going to talk to my 10-year-old daughter, and I'm going to read the book with her. Once again, thank you for the book. We've got it, and I'm excited.
Excellent.
It's exciting, and that's what I try to instill in my daughter. She's 10, and it's a lot of hard work, man. You got to just get out and do it, and I it's motivation. You got to motivate him. You got to motivate him somehow. I'm just waiting to find her niche, and then I'm going to turn her loose. And that's important, to give him many options. I see a lot of parents sometimes try to make their kids be something that they want them to be.
Right.
And I coached junior Olympic water polo. I coached football, high school, Pop Warner football. I coached young kids. And, there's been many of times, and actually every time, I've always had to sit down, whatever sport it was, to tell people, their parents, leave them be, man. Let us do our jobs. Because what happens is people push them, and then they lose them. You don't want to do that. You want your kids to be, organic, right? You want it to naturally enjoy it.
Well, I'm like that right now, Brown. I'm in that category right now where I'm trying to. I don't want to push him too much, but I want to let him know that I'm there. I'm kind of guiding him. You know what I mean?
Give him options.
That's it.
They need that.
Yeah.
And I'll share something with you. We have here at the Detroit Institute of Arts have an exhibit which is called Detroit Style Cars in the Motor City from 1950 to 2020. And they had an event last night, and I attended along with my father. So it talked about the history of car design, and also I did an interview. I was part of the exhibit, but the icing on the cake was Mr. Edsel Ford was there at the event, and everywhere I go, I'm carrying my books, and so I said, what this would be a great opportunity, And so I presented an autographed copy to Mr. Edsel Ford, and he was very elated. I told him about, my story about my journey as a car designer, and how I always wanted to work for Ford Motor Company. And I had shared that with him. And he told me, he took the book in his hand, and he said that he would like to have the book in the Ford archives.
Woo!
So that was the icing.
Nice.
Nice.
Very nice.
The icing.
Very
nice.
I felt like I was 11 years old,
I bet.
looking at my future.
Yeah.
And
nice.
it was just
Well,
awesome.
you got family members, kids, nieces, nephews, friends, neighbors. Now you're etched in a piece of history.
Yes,
Blessed.
The
Yeah.
time
I
is
tell
6:00
everybody,
p.m.
no matter what your gender is, never let anyone tell you what you can't do.
Right.
Because if Emeline King, if she did it, you can too.
That's
Ain't
right.
that the truth?
That's right. Yeah, that's what I like.
So-
That's what a way to hear that story at the very end. That's awesome. I know we talked a little bit, and I know you don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but she's out now, and I'm excited for you. I knew
She's
it.
out.
That's
I'm
beautiful.
very, very happy for you.
Yeah.
I really am. You guys tuning in, we have our special guest from Detroit, Michigan. If you guys haven't already subscribed, please do so. If you like what you see, hit that like button. Get us in the comment. Let us know what's going on, what we can do to improve the show, or if you guys like to leave a comment about Miss King, where you can find Miss King. We'll drop that in the link in our channel, so they could tune into you. We'll drop that link, also the link to Hidden Pioneers as well. We previously had Bill Montgomery on the show. We referred you. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So awesome. Thanks for taking out the time again.
Thank you.
To come out on the show. We really, really appreciate it.
Yep, no doubt. It's awesome to hear that information. I'm happy that we can put it out, and on these car clubs you're having to go do shows at. Let us know. We'll promote them for you. We want them book signings to go out there. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
for sure.
definitely. So we hope you come back on the show. Tell us how everything is going. Keep us up to date. You know what I mean? Much love. Share the love out there for us out there too as well.
No doubt.
So appreciate it. You guys at home, we'll see you in that next one.
Peace.